everybody, one of interesting point you have to know about Python. Python is object-oriented language, so everything in Python is object. So what do you mean by that? Let me go to Python. I will write Python 3 in the terminal. Maybe you write Python if you are using a Windows. So when we said x equal 10, I told you before, I define variable name it x and I give it value equal 10. So what I did in memory, I did two things. First of thing, I create variable and I give it specific value. So if I just go to draw tool to draw and show you what I'm doing here, so basically I did it in this way. I define variable, name it, let me show you. I define here variable, this variable, name it x, and I give it value equal 10. What addition thing I did in the memory? You know, every location in memory have a specific ID. Hey everybody! One of interesting point you have to know about Python. Python is object-oriented language, so everything in Python is object. So what do you mean by that? Let me go to terminal and write Python 3 or Python in Windows. Okay, so you will see this screen. When I said x equal 10, I told you before what I did here. If I just open a draw tool, I basically create variable, name it x, and I give it value equal 10, and I save it in the memory. We say this is memory. So x represents a specific location in memory. For example, this location. So to suppose this location, how could I find location? If I say id for x, he will give you the location. See, this is the location for. So the location will be what? Will be 4, 2, 9, blah 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 4. What the addition thing? Python will save it about variable. He will save the data type of this variable because this one x equal 10. So if I say type for x, Python is intelligent enough to know this variable is integer. So basically he say, okay, you define variable x and the data type is integer. So this is basically how Python works. So whenever you write any variable, he gives this variable specific location and specific data type. So if I do in this way, if I say pi equal 3.5, if I say id for pi, he will give it a specific ID. It's totally different from the first one because he will save it in other location. Also, when I said type for pi, he will give it float. Why float? Because 3.5 is a float. And same thing, if I say name equal specific name, let me suppose I have Hussein. If I say ID for name, he will give it specific ID. And if I say type for name, also he will give it a specific type. The type is string because I'm adding string. How this one work in memory? Basically, he work in this way. If you define it here, I want to be clear for you to show you everything. So if you see, first of all, we define variable x and we have then pi and whatever. So x we give it 10 hopefully, and then we define another variable, name it pi, and we give it a 3.5. Then we define variable, name it name, and we give this variable specific the value, which is Hussein. Okay, then what you have to know, every variable has specific type. So this one, you know, this is integer, this should be float, this should be string, and everyone have a specific location. So for x have 4, 2, whatever, continue to 4. Then pi have a specific location, again 4, 2, but end by 6. Then you have another one, string 4, 3, and end by again 8. So did you see, every variable have a specific name, specific value, and should have specific location. So there is not two variable have same location. Yeah, this is basically how it works. And yeah, here we done, and see you next.